So let's start with the first tip that I want to give you, and this is my question to you guys, is are you overly critical when you're in a relationship? And I'm banging the table, so if you see me shaking, it's not that there's an earthquake, it's that I'm banging the table saying, are you overly critical when you're in a relationship, and do you make too many demands of your partner? Okay? Now, remember that each opportunity that you're in is an opportunity for you to grow and learn and transform as a person. That is why we're here on the planet, is to heal and to grow. So everyone you come into contact with is an opportunity, especially that you go out with or you're with in partnership, is an opportunity for you to transform. So if you look at it like that and you get the lessons that you're being given, that means that if you haven't met your life partner yet, you will actually get closer and closer to them if you take it kind of quite seriously of what it is that you need to work on when you meet each person and when you're with each person. So my first tip for today is loving your partner for who you are, not who you think they could be. Now, what does that mean? Look, it's very easy for us to want every amazing quality known to man and not settle until we get it. And having this fantasy allows you to, if you're in a relationship, one, not make it work. Okay, so if you're in a relationship and you want this fantasy figure, it gives you an excuse not to make it work, so you don't find a way you connect. If you're not in a relationship, it gives you an excuse to stay not in a relationship, to stay single, because you can never find the right person. So either way, by having this fantasy figure, it can cause quite a bit of problems. And I realise that the television and the movies has really promotes that, but we're aiming to be very realistic here. So maybe you are with someone who doesn't have all these qualities that you want, and you find yourself criticizing them for it. This will end up being your issue. It's not their issue. So you need to look at, where are you stuck? If you're finding one of your partner's personality traits difficult, then look at where you need to heal, because these are your wounds, they're not their wounds. Remember, the person that you're with is also transforming, they're also changing, they're also working on themselves, otherwise they wouldn't be here. My fiance keeps lying to me about stupid things, saying he does it to see if I overreact. What to do? Well, Cassandra, it seems like he's baiting you a bit. I don't know why he's doing that. I would really ask him why he feels it necessary to rile you up, because that isn't harmonious. That isn't sort of bringing you both together. And everything you do in a relationship has to be about, am I drawing myself closer to my partner, or am I drawing myself further away from them? If he's trying to irritate you or sort of aggravate you, then I would ask him why he's doing that, and that maybe he doesn't want the relationship to work. I mean, maybe that's something that's in him, that he's trying to not make the relationship work by tripping you up. Also, the fact that he keeps lying, I would again confront him about that, because lying is not good in any relationship. So you've got a serious discussion to have with him about lying, and also why he's trying to push your buttons and push you away, because trying to test you to see if you're going to overreact is like pushing your buttons. It's like you're not on the same side, like you're in a war. So speak to him about that, because this needs to stop immediately, as far as I would be concerned. What is your advice regarding long distance relationships? Can they last? This one is over 1.5 years. I think this can really last. Look, I started off long distance with my husband, Okay, so I'm going to be a bit biased on that front. I actually think it can initially enhance the relationship, but at a certain point you're going to need to be in the same town. So if you've been together for 1.5 years, you guys need to think at this point, are you going to take it to the next level? And if you aren't going to take it to the next level, there are two things. If you both want to, that means yes. If you're both not sure about living in the same town as each other, then I would look to see if this long distance is a kind of excuse to be half in and half out. So let me reiterate it. At 1.5 years, you guys, you, Adina, you and your boyfriend need to decide, are you going to be in the same town? Because 1.5 years is quite a long time. It's not over long, but it is quite a long time. So decide if you're going to be in the same town at this point. Now, if you decide to be in the same town, that means that you're both feeling like, okay, the relationship is going to go to the next level, and you're pretty sure of that. Now, if you're still unsure, my red flag goes up if you're unsure after 1.5 years, because after 1.5 years, you know whether you want to be in the same town, and then it's up to negotiating whether you do end up in the same town. So I have two examples of that. My husband and I were apart. I lived in Los Angeles, he lived in London. We met in August. I ended up moving to London the following April and ended up getting married, and we married there. Do relationships between vegans, vegetarians and omnivores work? Any tips for navigating the issue? Of course they do. Absolutely they work. You just go out and order different things. You cook, you know, you sort of keep the meat, etc., out of your dish. You know, I come from my relationship is the same. My husband likes a lot of meat, and you know, I don't at all. So it's very rare that I eat meat. I only eat organic meat. 95% of what I eat's organic. He's a bit more open. He secretly does McDonald's runs. And then I know when he's done it, though, because he's got this look on his face when he returns home that he's gone to McDonald's. But listen, of course it works. You just adapt and you negotiate, and you keep the meat out of your, you know, the food. I have actually found that my husband's become more vegetarian, actually, since he's been with me, but it crept up on him. He didn't notice that I was subtly, secretly doing it. Lorenzo has just finished starting a relationship with someone who's ended a 5-year relationship. I would say go slowly. Because the thing is that if they've just ended a 5-year relationship, you're going to either be, if you don't go slowly, you're going to be the in-between guy for them. So what I would do is I would really go slowly on this one, and also don't act as their therapist on their last relationship. That's really important, because otherwise you're going to be the in-between. You help them get out of it, but you know, then they're going to move on, and you will just have been used in that sense. So I would be very wary, because 5 years is like a marriage, actually, Lorenzo. It's a really long time, and the person that you're with really needs to air out. So I would pull back a bit. Don't be therapist to them, and go very, very slowly. Do as little as you can talk about the past relationship. Let them go to a therapist or someone to talk about it rather than speak to you about it, because I'm a bit concerned for you at this point, because I'm concerned that you're going to be the in-between guy. I'm a Democrat, and the guy I'm seeing is conservative. How concerned should I be? I don't know. Don't be concerned. It doesn't really matter. It kind of can create interesting, diverse conversation.